Get in the early morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
Here's a question for you, Andrew Hayes. If your toddler's going cocoa bananas in a cafe, you should remove them, yeah? But does the cafe owner have the right to go, oi, out?
Jeez, depends how insane, and they're all insane, but just how crazy the toddlers are.
Oh, and typical toddlers. They're crazy.
Just ridiculous. My kids in that situation, no doubt, go through this little phase where they get the sugars and just open them up and throw them everywhere.
Cool.
Good, that's fun, isn't it? Sugar sachets everywhere.
Yeah,
Love that.
good work, guys.
Yeah.
We had a good chat about one man particularly up in North Queensland who went, oi, get out.
Yeah.
In that voice.
Yeah. Oi, get out. And the kids didn't even care. And it depends where you're from, like, and not just each different part of the country, how old you are, whether you have kids or not. Very much divided opinion in terms of toddler tantrums, isn't it?
Yeah, there sure is. Enjoy.
If you've got toddlers, how much of a joy are they? You can speak firsthand on this, can't you? Because you've educated about 1 million of them, all girls.
They are absolute little nutters.
Yeah.
A situation the other day when mine was so overtired that she was up and about at the gym and she's singing at the top of her lungs and everyone loved her and everyone's laughing and I'm like, how good's having a toddler? And then we get to the car park and she realised she had to get into a car seat. Want to go with Daddy? And straight back in there. I'm like, you're a psychopath. 2 minutes ago, you were in the best mood ever. Anyway, they're fun. Go.
Real fun. An Australian cafe owner has doubled down on his decision to kick out a family with 2 children who were crying and allegedly throwing things around. So this is at a Horseshoe Bay Cafe way up north. This bloke decided to ask these guys to leave, a tantrum that unfolded for around 15 minutes.
Okay, that's enough.
So just imagine that you're sitting there enjoying your breakfast and this is going on.
Yep.
And I'm someone who's got toddlers as well.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what went on. Absolute mayhem. The children are thought to be aged between 2 and 3 and have said to become upset after being told they had to share an ice cream. Oh, Mum and Dad, worst move. Don't ask toddlers to share anything.
That's like you when I asked to share your food.
Yeah, I know. And you absolutely throw the toys out of the cot. Out of control.
Me or you?
Oh, maybe both of us, actually. The older child showed his unhappiness by clearing our shelf. This is from the cafe owner. Clearing our shelf with all of the shells and items on the counter.
Oh, no.
So he physically went nuts. Then he picked up one of the metal flasks and threw it on the tiles. I was surprised he didn't smash the tiles. His decision to ask the family to leave sparked outrage from an onlooker named Laura, who branded the owners as disgusting after watching the scene unfold. But he told the Townsville Bulletin the cafe owner only intervened because the children were vandalising the shop and disrupting other customers. It's tough because toddlers will be crazy, but at the same time, they can't turn your cafe upside down.
Can I just add that this is on Magnetic Island? So Horseshoe Bay is on Magnetic Island. So you go over and it's picturesque. You're literally on paradise, in paradise, this place. So the last thing you would want is to hear a screaming child for 15 minutes.
Look, it's a very fine line because as when you see a child go nuts, like another person's child, A, you thank God it's not yours.
Yeah.
But B, you try to have a bit of empathy because we all know what it's like. But C, and this is the asterisk to this story, there is a point as a parent where you have a responsibility to remove that child after 6 or 7 minutes if they're losing their shine.
Yeah, and tie them up and put them in the car.
Then you've got to start,
Oh, no, wait, that's southwest New South Wales back in the 80s. Don't do that anymore, do they?
But hang on a sec, like 6 or 7 minutes, wouldn't you? So I went to a play the other day.
What do you mean you went to a play?
Well, so I took my nieces to Alice in Wonderland, and there was a gentleman there with a baby / I don't know, maybe 1.5, 2 years old, who was intermittently crying and fussing.
Yeah.
And he would get up, kind of walk to the back of the theatre so you can still hear, like we were sitting up there. So this child's going off and then he'd randomly walk out, come back in. The baby was still losing its mind instead of just like removing.
See ya.
Yeah. So you can't hear because it's a play. So they're speaking down on stage. So you could hear them only just because this baby was fussing the whole time. Obviously, I don't have children, so I feel like I can't say much on this, but it was really, really annoying.
No place. Don't take children, toddlers to plays. I don't care what they're themed. I don't think if they're for children, just don't take them. They're gonna
that's
go
my
crazy.
thought process.
Wiggles should be a children-free space.
Yes, it should be.
So you got a thought on this because you are younger and you're probably someone who, with your lovely, gorgeous, flawless boyfriend Alex, probably enjoys a little breakfast every now and then at a cafe.
I do. And I'm the same, Joe. It's always empathy, I think, first, because you're looking at the parents going, oh, God, you poor things.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. But if they're being destructive, it's time to remove. But also, who started it, you know?
Oh,
the
yeah.
parents
Maybe the
told them he
cafe
had...
owner started it.
But the parents said that they had to share the ice cream, so that's how it all kicked off.
So true. But who started throwing things? The cafe owner or the toddlers?
Yeah. Yes, I think we can all agree, though. I think we can all safely in this space agree that toddlers are
Yes.
0488 919 919. Are we right?
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post snooze news.
We'll get to the tennis in just a moment, and that was me. I was supposed to be speaking off air about where Offner was from last night, who played an epic match against Kokonakis, and I've guessed Austria, but we'll get someone to confirm that. That's fine.
Right, keep your thoughts to yourself, for goodness sake. I'm just joking. I actually asked you where you're from. I was like, where's he from? And you're like, I think he's from. As soon as I asked you the question, I turned the mics on.
I know. That was the biggest setup of all time. Hey, where's this Offner bloke from? Oh, yeah, I think he's from Mike's on Austria. Anyway, Abby, what do we need to know today?
Good morning. He is Austrian, by the way. He's their number one player.
Beautiful.
As we've discussed just before, Tour Down Under, it's all happening in Adelaide. Tour Down Under, the test starts today as well. So the Tour Down Under is 141 kilometres and it's from Norwood to Lobethal. They'll go through Summertown, Balhanna and Woodside as well. So that's exciting. It all kicks off from about 11:10. Is your eye appointment before or after 11:10?
10:40.
Yeah, you're stuffed.
Yeah. I'm going to go to my eye appointment and the optometrist is going to say, I can see you having traffic problems. Get out of here.
Yes, correct. Now, Adelaide Oval obviously will be, it's all happening at Adelaide Oval. So we've got the West Indies test, obviously. Cans are now a permanent part of the food and beverage lineup. So no longer do you have to have a plastic cup for your drink, which is brilliant because I'm not a fan of those. They've also introduced 20 self-checkout food and beverage terminals.
Oh.
So essentially AI is going to recognise and ring up your food and drink so you can check out faster.
That's interesting. Can you imagine
This
the
is
blokes who've had
controversial.
47 beers by the end of the day just checking out their own chips and their hot dogs?
Yeah.
It's like when you go to Woolies and it tells you that you're stealing, but you've been to another shop and you've got stuff in your trolley.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I went to
take
Woolies
stuff
the
in.
other day and they said they were buzzing going, the checkout was telling me I had stuff in my trolley and I was like, oh, this is from Big W, I've got a receipt. And the woman's like, yeah, that's fine. And I thought, you didn't check that. I could have had anything in here.
Yeah, I often think that as well, like just how casual they are with checking your stuff. I'm like, I could, if I really went hard, really steal some stuff.
Yeah.
It's something to think about.
Anyway.
I know we're absolutely digressing here, but I was in, I won't say where, the other day. It was a supermarket and there was a guy who was clearly under the influence of something who had a backpack and was just walking down, picking off the big electronic toothbrushes and putting them in his bag.
Right.
And so I said, oh, you might want to check out the guy in aisle 13. He's just having a good old time helping himself. And they're like, oh, there's nothing we can do.
Well, see, that's the other thing that I've heard as well,
Yeah.
and I think it's applied to some service stations, that you can't search
touch them.
You can't touch them.
No.
So,
I
see, all
would.
you can
I'd
say,
be like, get over here.
yeah, but isn't that the thing? All you can do is say, excuse me, are you shoplifting? If they go no, then there's not much you can do.
No, exactly.
Anyway, and lastly from me, Sarah Snook has had a three-peat. She's won the Emmy for Shiv Roy in Succession. So
God love
good
her.
old Adelaide actress there. She's, doing very well.
Represent.
Absolutely
Yeah.
nailed it.
News.
News.
Do you want to talk tennis now?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's talk Tanasi Kokonakis, our boy the Teacock. He's through. Pretty epic first round, to be honest with you. 5 sets. Not good for the rig, but still got through. 7-6, which was a tiebreak in the fifth. 10-8 over Sebastian Offner, who is
Who is Austrian?
Austrian.
Yeah. It was an epic match and he lost the second 2 sets and he looked gone for all money and then came back. The difference was between the two, Offner was showing his emotions and getting involved in the crowd, who was sort of sensed that and were giving it to him in between serves if he missed the first and all that sort of stuff. But Kokonakis was cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
And got through in the end. Well done.
Jeez, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Spoke after the match.
I had a sort of tough end to last year, tough start to this year, and I know it's the first round, but this one meant a lot. Obviously, last year that one hurt. I had a couple of junkies come up to me at Crown Casino ripping me for that loss against Murray, so didn't enjoy that too much, but glad I could make amends and win a 5-setter here. As I said, I can't thank you guys enough. It's ridiculous in here, so thank you.
Every time Tanasi speaks, awesome.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Oh, he nearly dropped an F-bomb, but he censored himself. You can see. Remember when him and, Kyrgios used to do press conferences after their doubles, and you're like, this is going to be the loose, man.
Yeah.
You didn't know what they were going to say.
It's great because they're trying to shock each other almost.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The Oz Open, I'm so into it at the moment. It's good. What about Terry Irwin jumped on stage with her son, Robert, and they were at a veterinary conference in Florida over the weekend. And she asked the audience, she said, has anyone got a Steve Irwin tattoo?
Oh, wow.
And a couple of people put their hands up. She said, oh, wow, I'm shocked by that. She goes, I don't even have a Steve Irwin tattoo. And then she made a real X-rated gag in front of Bobby Irwin. And this is what she had to say. If you can't hear it, I'll explain it for you afterwards.
And I was very impressed because I don't have a tattoo. I have a tattoo that says Steve was here.
Okay, Terry.
And then she followed up with, I don't think I can show you all where it is.
Really?
Come on, Mum.
Okay, Mum. When Mum says stuff like that, you're like, oh, it's not being sexual, Mum. You pass that, aren't you? Anyway, bless her.
Oh, good on you, Tess.
I'm sure the big fella's upstairs looking down going, crikey! Don't say that, Terry. At your post-snooze news, it's 6:13 on Nova 919.
I think every couple plays that game where they're together and a hot woman walks past and the partner takes great joy at watching your husband or your boyfriend or whoever it may be try not to look at said hot woman, and you're just giving them the side eye like, I know you're going to look, I know you're going to look. And my hubby Greg and I play that game where I'll watch him and his head swivels and he has a little look, and his excuse since I met him has always been, oh, I thought I knew her. And so
I thought you go, what do you mean? You thought you knew? Oh, yeah, and just straight down the path.
And so it's got to the point now where when he has a little perv, I go, oh, did you know her, did you? And he's like, yeah, thought I knew her. Anyway, so that's the game we play.
That's a good call. By the way, the bloke's listening right now, that is a really, really smart, intelligent way, which doesn't work anymore.
No.
But in the initial stages, well played, Greg.
No, because I've outed it. Yeah. But do you do that with your boyfriend, Alex?
Yeah, well, sort of. He's not too obvious. I do it, especially on Instagram or like if scrolling something, I go kind of the opposite a little bit. I shoot myself in the foot a bit. I go, oh, God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then he'll have a look and he goes, yeah. And I'm like,
He's like, oh my gosh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he genuinely does. And I can't even get, grumpy with him because he'll go, well, you said it.
Yeah, you pointed it out.
Yeah.
So on our holiday, there were supermodels absolutely everywhere in this particular location. There's lots of expats, and there was a running track out the back of where we were staying. And so every single morning, there'd just be these hot women in activewear strolling around with their little designer dogs. It was hilarious. My husband fell in love 78 times on our Christmas holiday, and it wasn't with me. Yeah. But there was one blonde woman in particular who even I was like, oh my God, what are you doing here? You should be on a Paris catwalk. So we dubbed her the Russian supermodel. So over the course of a couple of weeks, he's just like, yeah, Russian supermodel was in the dog park. I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, on the last day, she walks past us as we're taking a walk with the kids down the running track. And I said, well, last day of our trip, shoot your shot, mate. Go for it. Like, if this is going to happen, you may as well confess your undying love to her. And he's like, yeah, all right, okay, we'll see how we go. I got caught up with the toddler in the playground, and she walked past him. And I caught up and I said, how did you go? He goes, yeah, no, she's accepted it. See, she's happy to go ahead. And I went, oh, yeah, cool. Well, the kids and I will jump on the plane tomorrow. Off you trot. And then the 12-year-old who was eavesdropping, as she always does, pipes up and she goes, have we got a new mummy?
That goes in my mind.
Yeah. I think a lot of people spend time pondering, am I a good person? That introspection am I contributing to the world and society? Well, I'm about to give you the answers because I'm about to give you the signs. There are 27 green flags, not red flags that make you a bad person, but green flags that show you that you're a good person. So if you meet someone, have a think about these things, and then you can tell almost immediately if they're a good person or not. Do you want to hear them?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds very black and white too. Like, it sounds like if you don't pass some of these tests immediately, then automatically you're just an absolute piece of you-know-what.
No, I'm not saying that. They're open for debate, which is why this is a nice, happy space where we can discuss things.
Just before we start, what if we met for the first time and you said, hello, and I said, good, thanks. Get out of my life. Red flag.
All right. I'm going to do about 10 of them because there's too many to go through. But one of them is they speak to wait staff, or you speak to wait staff politely, or anyone in the service industry.
Yeah.
That's a good indicator, isn't it?
That's a good indicator.
If you're rude to those people, get out of my life.
Yeah.
They love animals and are kind to them.
Yep.
I don't know if I subscribe to that because I didn't like dogs for a very long time.
What?
But I had to argue to people. That doesn't make me a bad person. I just never grew up with dogs.
Do you know what? I just wanted to smash you there for a second, but then I realised that I didn't like little dogs.
Yeah.
And then our little Indiana, who's recently passed away, was Kara's dog, a little white thing, and I've never loved an animal more.
I know, but also way to bring down the mood by saying your dog just died. Thanks, mate.
Now I'm sad. Anyway, now I'm back up.
Another green flag. They ask questions about you.
Okay.
So if we're having a conversation, you don't just talk about yourself the whole time. You go, and how are you?
Hey. I watched the tennis last night.
Oh, this is a good one. So they compliment other people behind their backs. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
There's not a lot of that these days, is there?
Hazy talks crap about you all
Does
day.
he?
Yeah.
Really? What's
Yeah.
he say?
I'd never
just
give
that
someone a compliment to their face, only do it behind their back.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that going on, is there?
Okay, yeah. So that's one. Like what sort of stuff though, Abs? Like,
I'll tell you later.
okay. They're not, this is a big one for me, they're not constantly checking their phone. There is nothing worse than when you're trying to have a conversation with someone and they're just sitting on their phone the whole time.
Yeah, I'm on my phone way too much.
Yeah.
Way too
What are
much.
you laughing at, Zoe?
I'm not laughing.
Producer Zoe. They ask if you've eaten.
Okay.
Are you right? Do you need something to drink? Have you?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, food. I like that.
That's very nice.
Yeah. Another one.
Who is this person? Is it your personal assistant? No. Have you eaten? No, do you need to be burped?
There's a good one. They put their rubbish in their bin and clean up after themselves.
Yep.
I'm a big one for that in food courts. Like if you eat in a food court and then you just get up and leave your tray there. No.
Yeah. So do you know what I'm a big one for?
What?
If you're at a pub and you finish your beer,
Yeah.
you're going up to get another one, just take
Just
your
take
glass
the
up.
glass up.
Yeah.
Take your glass up.
Don't wait for some poor 17-year-old pimply kid to come around and pick it up for you.
Yeah,
You know,
who's
they're
that?
getting paid $8 an hour.
How old is he?
He's 17.
17.
He shouldn't be there.
I'm not sure he's allowed to get a job.
Yeah.
Which bar are you going to?
That's
Bloody
my whole
Hobart
point.
bar.
The manager of that bar shouldn't employ 17-year-olds. He's a bad person, not a good person.
Yeah, I get it when you're 18. You want the beer glasses to stack up. You're like, look at us. Let's take it to the bar.
And there's one more, and I really like this one. When you walk away from them, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, okay.
Know what I mean?
That's nice.
So you walk away from a conversation, you go, geez, that person makes me feel good. And I think that's the whole point of us being on the planet, to make each other feel good.
Yeah. Are you getting those vibes when you leave?
No,
get those vibes when you
absolutely
leave
not.
work here?
I'm completely paranoid, thinking, what are they all saying? If I have to leave a meeting early, I feel like, leaving a listening device to see what you're all saying.
I wouldn't.
Do you have any things that make you think, that's a good person?
Yeah, I've got an absolute few triggers. Someone who always respects and admires the use of shorts on a male all year round. I think that's something that should definitely go both ways.
Yeah.
Always wave when someone lets you in traffic.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Yes.
Like, it
Yes.
doesn't matter how big of a deal it is.
Nah.
Just a quick wave. Like, how hard is it to throw your hands up in the air?
Yeah.
Conversely, I'm that person that if you don't wave and I've waited for you to come through a narrow space and you don't, I give it this one. Oh, no.
Yeah, because it's one or the other.
I know.
You're either my best friend because you waved, or you are my most hated enemy because you
Yes.
didn't wave.
That's a good
There's
one.
nowhere in between.
What about people who replace the toilet roll thinking about the other person? You don't want to leave someone stranded in the cubicle, do you?
No,
Going,
absolutely not.
excuse me, have you got some toilet paper to a random stranger?
I'll take it to the next level, and I don't want to seem disgusting. But if you've made a bit of a mess in the toilet, clean it.
Clean it up.
Clean it up.
No, I'm with you. When you put your trolley back at the supermarket, there's no onus on you to do so. Someone will come around and do it for you, but it's just a nice thing to do.
It is.
And the other thing that makes you a good person, I reckon, is if you do charitable things, but you don't tell everyone about it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Absolutely.
Okay. You got any, Zoe?
Yeah, I do. I reckon a big one is people who will hold the elevator open if you're coming across the room. You know, you're waiting for the elevator and they're in there and they stop it for you and hold it open.
That's nice.
I remember Tom and Zoe's like running towards the elevator and I'm just watching her going as the door shuts as she's getting closer.
That is absolutely something you would do. Let's go to Amber from Elizabeth East. Hi, Amber.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. What's a green flag for you? What makes a good person?
Definitely if you're walking down the street somewhere or early in the morning, if you make eye contact with somebody and they give you a little smile or, you know, they say hi or something like that.
Nice.
So definitely makes a genuine person there.
So I like to do that, but then I worry, Amber, that people will think I'm a bit of a creep because I learnt that from my mother. My mother will go for a walk and every single person will go, morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Or you're going up Mount Lofty. Whoo! Just going, whoo, steep. Good chat. I'm just trying to keep my head down.
Good hill climb chat, mate.
Woo, good day. Yeah, great hill chat.
Wade from Allenby Gardens. Good morning, Wade.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you have a green flag?
No, I've actually got a bit of a red flag, kind of flowing on from your wave when someone lets you in the traffic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the other one is when you're driving along and there's a lane coming up that's blocked off for roadworks or whatever, and you get those people that speed right up and then try and squeeze in last minute.
Yes.
Absolute shit feed.
Hey, wait, I'm exactly the same.
And I have to say, Jody, I agree with you about meeting people. I meet a lot of people myself, and remembering names can be so difficult when you meet that many people. It's ridiculous.
You wait, Wade.
But I do try.
Mate, hopefully we speak to you again very, very soon. And you wait until Jody's like, oh, g'day, Wade from Allenby Gardens. Nice to meet you. And you just wait and see how it feels.
Look, I wouldn't forget you two.
Oh, that's Wade.
It's a good one, though, because I always think, can't we just all team up?
Yeah.
The pelican who's trying to cruise down the side and get in, can't we all team up and make sure that he doesn't get in? But there's always a person in front of you that goes, okay, you can come in.
Isn't the rule one in, like you let every second person in? What am I trying to say?
Is that it? And that's the other thing as well. When someone in front of you lets people in and they let like 2 or 3 people in, that's fine. You're being the hero of the people coming in, but you're inconveniencing everyone behind you.
Oh my God, I'd hate to be a driver around you. There are so many rules that no one understands.
I'm so aggressive.
What the fork?
What the fork?
What the fork is happening?
It's back.
Yeah, and I probably should just reset this for anyone who's just tuning in for the first time. What the Fork is a segment that we do. It was born out of the fact that every time you go into an office space, into the kitchen, there's no forks.
Yeah.
Which led us to the question, what the fork? And this can relate to everyday conundrums where you look at stuff and you go, what the fork does that mean? And on this occasion, we thought it only best that we do the holiday edition. What the fork did you see on your holidays that you thought, oh my God? You can text us to 0400 919 919 or give us a call on 13 24 10. Do you want me to kick us off?
Yes, please.
Okay, first thing I saw that I thought, what the fork, we were on a flight from Adelaide to Bangkok, and flights can be uncomfortable. There's no question about that, particularly in economy where there's no space and you're crammed into a row with 4 people.
Amen.
The guy pressed against our window, Hazy, at one stage I looked over and he'd adjusted his leg so his foot with a sock on it was resting up on his tray table.
Oh, nice.
What the fork?
What the fork?
Good on you, mate.
So next time you're on a flight and you get your little chicken pie and a little bit of pastry drops onto your tray table and you think, oh, that'd be all right to eat. It's not all right to eat because there is some douche out there who had his foot resting on the place where we all eat our food.
And in his mindset, maybe he's not that much of a douche in normal life. He's like, I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm uncomfortable.
Or this one. I paid for this ticket.
We all did. We all did, mate. That was the first thing what the fork I saw. The second what the fork was when I visited the toilet in Bangkok. And
do things a bit different.
and I was confronted with the good old-fashioned bidet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just quickly, side note, remember when a newsreader, Abby, was talking about bidets and she called it bidet? That was a few months ago. Sorry, Ab. Sorry.
Anyway.
Good fun time.
I'm just about to show you a video because I thought Hazy would appreciate this because I am so confused right now. It was a really high-tech bidet, right? So that is what I was confronted with.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the toilet there. But look at all those symbols.
Oh, what are the options? You've got so many different options.
That is so true. There's about 8 to 10 different options here, and I thought, I don't know what any of this means.
So you'd have to genuinely look it up.
Yeah, so I've Googled it. So
This is confronting.
this is what all the different symbols on a bidet mean. Booty, hit twice for soft cleaning mode. Frontal for ladies. Oscillation, back and forth. Pulsating, clean wand, pressure low to high, position, back to forward, and presets. And there are 1 or 2 user settings you can save your positions, like for spray strength, etc. So I didn't know what was going on at the time. That was before I Googled it. So I just hit them all.
Yeah, wow.
And I had the time of my life.
I don't know what's going on here, but my heart rate's elevated.
So many different sensations.
A lot of key words in there, isn't there?
Did you leave the toilet at all on holiday?
No, we were there for 2 days in Bangkok. Didn't move. The kids were like, "Where's Mum?" Oh, she's still in the toilet.
She's going to the toilet again. Oh, is she okay? Trust me, she's fine. She's absolutely fine. First time I used a bidet was on our honeymoon as well.
Really?
In Thailand.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, it's confronting, isn't it?
It's confronting, but also exhilarating.
Oh, I think the aim is to clean those bits down there. It feels like it cleans your entire soul. It's very, very confronting for the first time.
Good bidet chat. What the fork bidets? Oh, give us a call, 13 20 410. What the fork did you see on your holidays?
Yes.
We've got a text here from Gina from Dernacourt. She said, I went to Italy for the first time to visit family. I walked into the walk-in pantry to find a snack only to see a dead chook hanging out to dry from the ceiling.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
What the fork?
What's happening? I'm not really used to that.
And those people just go down to Woolies and get one for $12 in the hot chook section.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
Between a little tradie's handbag and a little chook hanging from the top. What happens if you go to Woolies and bring your chook home and just hang it from the ceiling?
Yeah, exactly. That's strange stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Keep the text coming through, 0400 919 919, because sometimes you just have a little bit of a culture shock, don't you?
Yeah. Do you have a culture shock down at Victor Harbour?
No, not really. Tended to get through pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, I have a bit of a culture shock when I walk into Victor Central. Jeez, a bit of an older demographic down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed one. I sort of feel like the locals can see you coming as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can really sort of pounce on the fact that you're a tourist.
Yes, exactly.
And you sort of feel like some of the locals go, oh, here we go. It's that time of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sure we love you. I'm not sure we love you guys.
Yeah.
Go back to this, mate.
You can tell they can tell you're a tourist when you head to the line up for the cockle train because none of the locals are doing that.
And bless the Port Elliot Bakery.
Oh,
they can see you coming when you. And I was part of it as well. I lined up for the Port Elliot Bakery.
No, you didn't, did you?
Yes, I did. I got to the front. And my wife's like, I'll just get a sandwich.
I've done that. I've had the garden salad from there.
And you can line up for 20 minutes at the Port Elliot Bakery to get a salad.
That's outrageous.
Why are we lining up?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just look like it's popular.
Everyone in the line's going, what the fork?
Yeah, good stuff. All right, coming up next, birthday payday. Your chance to win $1,000 just for having a birthday. Best part about this thing, Jodes, is
everyone has a birthday, so everyone can win. Sorry, I checked out
It's 2024,
prematurely.
baby.
Come on.
We're going back in time. Hazy's on this Daisy.
time for On This Daisy. It's Wacky Wednesday time. At certain times of the year, be like, oh, geez, Wednesday, you're either hit or miss, given it's midweek. But in January, it just sort of feels like even though you might be back into it with work, you're still a little bit in holiday mode.
Yeah, that's okay. There'll be a lasting effect for a few weeks to come yet.
17th of January, 2017. Let's go back to this day. Search for missing aircraft MH370 over the Indian Ocean is called off.
We managed to complete a 120,000 square kilometer search. Unfortunately, we are unable to find the plane MH370.
The whole thing is just mind-blowing.
It's just
crazy.
Completely bizarre that a whole plane full of people could just go missing.
I think that is the overriding thought from everyone. It's like how it gave you a greater understanding of just how big the ocean is, to be honest.
Yeah, and also every time you step on an international flight, you go, ooh, we good here?
Yeah. Who's driving this thing? What's going on?
I always clock the pilot when you're on the air bridge on the way in, just to see that they look normal.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. What, have you ever gone the other way and be like, not like, I don't like, look at that pilot?
Yeah, just turn around and go back up into the Adelaide airport.
That's right. I'll go back up into the Virgin Lounge.
Yeah, or the Cooper's Bar.
I'll go to the Cooper's Bar. One beer, thanks. No worries. $20. Oh, gosh. I'm so sad now. 2019, Missy Elliott is the first female rapper to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Doesn't surprise me at all because she eats filet mignon, she's nice and young, and you best believe it, she's number one. What a champion Missy Elliott was, wasn't she?
Wasn't she? Oh. So cool.
2022, UK PM Boris Johnson admits he attended a Bring Your Own Booze staff party in May 2020 during the country's first lockdown. Look, I'm just going to say this. I'm not sure if I'm going to get in trouble for this. What an absolute mess Boris Johnson was. A genuine mess of a bloke, and he ran the country.
And he was one of those serial cheaters too. Like, he went from wife to wife to wife, and there was always a little plan B for Boris and a little crossover.
Yeah, and I feel like same situation with my son. You'd have to pin him down to comb his hair. You'd be like, for goodness sake, Boris, just stay still. Okay, I'm going to put some water through your hair now. You have to comb your hair. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Henry was a serial cheater in like grade 2 with crossovers.
No, Henry used to attend Bring Your Own Booze parties during the lockdown.
Not only attend, but would organise them.
Yeah,
invite the whole class.
Yeah, whole street. Number one song on January 17, 1996, Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something. Let's take a proper little trip back into the mid-90s.
Love this song.
We've got nothing in common.
Been a really, really big show. Cricket's on today. Mm-hmm. Really, really exciting stuff.
Yep.
Who's going to open the batting? That's the big question, isn't
it? That's when you need to know cricket stuff. You turn to Abby in the newsroom, who's the absolute guru.
I quit.
Don't quit yet. We have to explain why you're quitting first.
let's just recap. I didn't see this coming.
And all eyes will be on Steve Waugh today with the 34-year-old set to open the batting in Australia's opening test match. Why am I like this? It was Steve Smith right in front of me. Like, why do I do this? Why am I so stupid?
No, you're not stupid, babe. But at the end of the day, what really upset us here in the studio was when we accused you of saying Steve Waugh and you were like, no, it didn't.
Yeah, because I'm in a mood this morning, if you can't tell.
Yeah, God. That was like dealing with my toddler in that moment. Did not.
Yeah, it's fine. Do you know what, Abs? I know exactly what you... I said the SEN text line.
Again?
This is like last year.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the Nova text line.
Yes.
And it still came out. So my brain said say this, but different words came out of my mouth. Is that what happened?
Yeah. I feel like my alarm, just as you get older, getting up this early just does nothing for your brain.
Yeah. It's like with my mum when we change cars and you got to change like blinker sides.
Yes, I know.
That's a good, 2 to 3 year transition, I reckon.
Well, in 2 to 3 years' time, I might be able to get Steve Smith right.
Yeah. Well, just for the record, Steve Waugh retired in January 2004.
He's back, baby.
But he's back.
He's back.
That's the big story
One
today
day
at the Adelaide
only.
Oval.
You got it here first, breaking news.
Yeah. Let's hope Mark joins him.
Yeah.